Welcome back to the Unleashed Advisors channel. I'm Craig Nash, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Annie. We're here today just to kind of talk a little bit about success and what it means to us as far as being successful, and then also what it actually takes to be successful. So that's a great question for you, Annie. What is your definition of success?
So success to me is, it kind of depends on what kind of success we're looking at. To me, a successful day is when I've been able to accomplish a number of tasks. And it starts with goals and having the right mindset. So really everything comes down to, at the beginning of the year and midway through the year, we sit down and we set our goals. And then how are we going to track our progress towards those goals? For me, success is, am I meeting my goals, exceeding my goals, or going back and looking at them and having to adjust so that I can, which we adjust goals frequently because sometimes we're doing way better than we expected, which is always great. Sometimes it's not quite where we need to be. So maybe adjusting where the endpoint is or adjusting how we get there.
So you kind of do both, maybe adjust the actual goal itself.
Yeah.
And then adjust the actions to get to that goal.
Yeah. For example, this year, one of our goals was to become icon agents. And that meant after we cap, and we can go into all that detail, what that means. But for us, after you cap, then we have 20 transactions. And actually, I think it was like 20 and a half. So 21 transactions. And then we were considered icon. Which is a big EXP thing. It actually puts us in the top 3% of all agents with an EXP, which is really kind of cool. I didn't realize that at the time when we shot that goal. But what I didn't expect was how quickly we could get there. I thought, our year for us starts August 1. So we're recording, today is August 4th. We've just started into our new year. So we had until July 31st. My goal was by maybe July, I thought we could hit it. And we ended up having all the transactions and everything done in May. And so it was like, what am I going to do for the rest of our
We just enjoyed
year? So it was keep pushing. Yeah, it was keep pushing. So my goal was hit icon, but keep pushing. And so now my goal is to be capped. I think we ran the numbers, and originally the goal was by October, we should be capped. I think we can do that before that.
Yeah, so we'll probably end up capping about midway through September.
Yeah, which is really kind of cool because I've been doing this this is my fourth year. I'm into my fourth year. And every year, it's like I double what I did, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah. So the one thing I kind of don't like about real estate agents and stuff like that is they come into the business and they don't understand what it takes to be successful. And I'll give you an example. So we're sitting in one of our listings right now.
Yeah.
It's a stage listing. It's called the Cortland. It's probably about 3,200 square feet.
No. The Cortland is 3,600 square feet. 3,624.
Shows you how much I know about.
I know. You should know more of this. So the Cortland is a 3,600 square foot home. It's a 4-bedroom, 5-bath with a giant bonus room. And there's so many features about it that I love that I could go and be like, this is what's special. No, this is what's special. And this is what, it's just a really incredible.
But this is a very upscale home.
Yes.
I mean, I would consider this a luxury home.
Yes.
And, to get into, kind of like the luxury market and get into where you're selling, $1 million homes, it takes a little bit of time. Most agents come into the real estate world and they're like, well, I want to show these beautiful homes and get there right off the bat. Well, it takes a lot of work to get to this point. What was some of the work that we kind of did to get there?
So some of the things that we did to get here today in our business, it really took defining who our client is, defining who we are to meet that client. And I think maybe that was in reverse order. We had to figure out who we were so that we knew who our client was.
Yeah.
And it took working with some clients that I particularly don't want to work with people like that going forward. And having the confidence to be able to say, I don't need to work with people like that. And not even, I don't need to work with people like that, But sometimes the transaction, the deal isn't the kind of deal that I'm best with. I can work with investors, but that's not who my ideal client is, because I like working with first-time home buyers. I like working with other home buyers that maybe this is a move up or you're scaling back or whatever it might be, but the homeowners moving into a new home rather than just a cold transaction. I can do those all day long, but they're more ones that bring me more joy, the ones that I'm working with, a family or a couple or a person on the other side of the deal, or I'm on that side of the deal.
So that's one great piece of advice, to actually understand exactly who your ideal client is.
Yeah.
And actually start going after those, marketing towards that kind of ideal client.
Yeah.
To get that relationship built and, understand all that.
Yeah, because when you really identify who your ideal client is, it can be a very authentic type of, I want to say advertisement, but it's not really advertising. It's authentically going and working with the people that you want to work with, because they're attracted to you because that's who you're comfortable working with and what kind of transaction you're comfortable in. So it just makes everything easier.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an anointing, because it's so much, when you work in that.
Oh, I love that word.
It's so much smoother. It's so much easier. It's so much more joyful in your life.
Yeah, I love that word, anointing.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is that we really, really kind of help us be successful is that we really work our systems that we have in place. We kind of, that took a little time to dial that in.
Yeah.
To understand exactly, kind of our website, our back office systems, our CRM, of how we're managing all those people and getting them to where we want them.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of our systems and understanding what those systems might be is a constantly evolving process too. For me, each transaction and every time we go, because technology is always evolving.
Always changing.
And with EXP being such a technical type of company, we've always got new technology out there, figuring out what works, sticking with it long enough to make sure that it works, but then also being adaptable enough to move on and maybe see what something new is. So how would you describe success? Do you agree with the way that I talked about it?
I do. So my success is actually defining the bigger picture for us, and to understand what the steps are to get to those bigger pictures, and continually to move that needle forward every single day. I like the 1% rule. If I get better 1% every day, then I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I'm not going in the wrong direction.
You're not going backwards.
Yeah, so it's exciting to grow every single day, because real estate's different every single day.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's ever changing. So
well, and I heard something the other day. The real estate market changes slowly and very quickly at the same time. I heard that and I was like, wow, I've experienced that, and just the time that I've had my license and watched you also, is all of a sudden you're like, the market changed. But you look back a couple of weeks, you're like, here's where the change happened. I'm feeling it now. And so it's slow, but it's also very quickly happening. So
very much
being able
so.
to adjust to that as well.
Yeah. Where do you kind of see us going? I mean, let's talk a little bit about your success, because you really went from a 200 plus.
So you want to hear my story? How I got here and where I'm going?
A $200,000 a year salary at a corporate job, to making a decision to get in the real estate where it's commission. You went to zero, to now where you're going to make $350,000, $400,000 this year.
Yeah, that's as long as keep working hard, keep pushing. Yeah. So what's my story?
Yeah. So what kind of led to that? I mean.
So I had the corporate job. I spent 20 years climbing the ladder, doing the things, and I loved it at the time. I love constantly changing. I love constantly growing, learning more, and getting better at my craft, whatever that craft might be. And then we went on a trip, and I kind of got to see into your world of what you were doing with real estate and realized that fit who I am a lot better than what I was doing before. I was already pretty unhappy and frustrated. I couldn't put a finger on exactly what it was in the corporate world that, was driving me crazy and was not fulfilling. And now I look back and I think it had more to do with, we already used the word once, but anointing. I feel very much like this was an anointing for me moving into real estate, because it allows me to work in who I am, all the experiences that have led up to this time for me to do my job. Some days I'm better than other days, but for the most part, this allows me to build relationships to help people, because that's really what I enjoy doing, is helping people. And we can be successful at it. For me, at first, it's scary jumping off that cliff and saying, I'm going to leave all the parachutes behind. Yeah, we had some money saved up because we knew how long it was going to take to have income generating and stuff like that. But I left corporate world December 31st, started real estate December 17th when I got my license. So it was like I started before, but really I started doing everything January 1st,
January 1st,
2nd.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any other way but to work way too many hours. So I hear a lot of people say that, real estate agents, we've got to learn boundaries and learn when to turn real estate off and family on so that we don't burn out. I had a little bit of that trouble to start with, because I already worked a ton of hours. Working 60, 70 hours a week was not.
That was nothing for you.
That was nothing. I was used to it. So
in your corporate world, that was nothing.
Yeah. And so I just dove straight into it and learned as much as I could, and just started engaging with people as fast as I could. And then COVID hit. No, I didn't hit. This was after COVID. But I remember it. I don't know.
So you kind of got in the market after the craziness a little bit.
I did. But my first few deals, I had a listing right away. We were in multiple offers. I worked with buyers right away, and some of them we had to submit multiple offers because we were being outbid. And it was fast paced, which worked really well for me because I'm a fast paced. If it's fast paced, I go better because I feel like I have to digest really quickly. Digest and be able to move quickly and respond quickly. I like being able to do that. And so it just fit. And then there was a switch, and it was like July of 22, that switch hit.
Yeah.
And I remember it because we had sold our house, and our house, like 2 weeks before closing, you could feel that the market had changed. And I was going, oh my gosh, is ours going to be one that's going to fall through? And I never voiced that because I was like, I'm not speaking that into existence. But yeah, and then everything started changing. But I've been able to sell houses, whether it's buyer or seller side, through the market being slow. Right now we're in a very weird, it's slow, but it's fast.
Depends on what.
It's very hyper local. So if you're in like Five Forks, it's still super fast. If you're in
It also
Duncan,
depends like price range.
it does.
Which is really strange.
Yeah. And I went, like I said, I went to a thing last week about the market, and nationally, the market has dropped 2.7%. In Greenville, all of Greenville, so Greenville MLS really, it has grown. So we're not like the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And being able to understand that data and digest it and help explain that to buyers and sellers. Yes, what you're seeing nationally is one thing, but what's local is something different, and being able to understand it. That's why it's important also for buyers or sellers to work with an agent that knows their area.
Well, I think the value there of working with an agent is the education that you get, because buyers and sellers.
It's not what they do every day.
Yeah, it's something that they.
There are nuances to what we do.
Yeah.
It's not just open doors.
Yeah, very much so. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most people don't even know about.
Yeah.
And it's just because we're in it every single day. And we're in the trenches every single day. So we kind of understand what needs to take place and to get the best possible deal for our client, whether they're buying or selling. So, yeah, it's been interesting to see your success just your projection just straight up. It's been cool to watch.
It's definitely been exponential.
Yeah.
Because each year I've doubled what I've done, and
Yeah.
I didn't quite hit one of the goals that I wanted, but I hit the other one. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So let's talk about that doubling each year. So we're kind of going through a little process now where we're not trying to double. We're trying to.
No, but doubling each year is still exponential because, like, I started, it was 14 transactions, and then I did 28 transactions, and then, so it's exponentially growing. But so talk about 10x is easier than 2x book. You just start reading.
We've been doing this book, 10x is easier than 2x. And it really pointed out to me that you have to let go of some things in order.
That's hard.
It's because you're letting go of control. You have to really let go of like 80% of what you're doing because you have to really transform who you really are. Because you can always 2x, but you're just doing the same thing just a little bit more, working a little harder. 10xing is a whole different ball game. There's really only one way to get there per se, and it requires you to really transform as a person, transform as who you really are and how you do business. So, I mean, that's kind of cool that we're kind of going through that right now. I know that one thing that's causing me the 10x is I'm kind of really getting to where I'm getting out of production a little bit and starting to help other agents grow their business.
Yeah. So buyers and sellers get to see my pretty face more instead of yours.
Yeah. I still like producing, but it's not like it was.
It's much more selective.
Yeah. But it's fun to really get into the aspect of helping other people grow their business and see them be successful. And that's the whole concept of if you help enough people be successful, you'll be successful. So I love doing that. So it's cool to see, some of the agents that have helped to actually grow their business, and see them excel at it. And I know that you're starting to let go some of your 80%, because there's a lot of stuff that you do that you could delegate it out to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So that's kind of excited of where we're going to go and just how we're going to grow as a organization.